Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all for a virtual conclave on transforming government services to citizens with a focus on strengthening the e-governance infrastructure, policy and practice on data centers hosted by GovConnect in association with Brocade. I am Fahimul Haq, the host for today and the director at GovConnect. This virtual conclave, while promising to provide a premier interdisciplinary forum, shall witness high-powered and brainstorming sessions represented by policymakers, government functionaries, and industry leaders, as there is a need for all of us as stakeholders to create a roadmap for the sectors in concrete terms in the age of technology, information, and communications for a progressive society. India, along with the entire world, has been witnessing and experiencing a transition from an emerging to a developed market economy, and digital is led to play a key role in this journey. With over a billion mobile phones and more than 700 million internet subscribers, India has witnessed an exponential growth in digital commerce, digital entertainment, and use of social media. India's mobile data consumption is already the highest in the world and is constantly increasing. The size of the digital population in India and the growth trajectory of digital economy requires a strong growth of data centers, which has the capability to fulfill the growing demands of the country. India data center market has seen tremendous growth in the past decade, riding on the explosion of data through smartphones, social networking sites, e-commerce, digital entertainment, digital education, digital payments, and many other digital businesses and services. There is a need to have a strong data center infrastructure within the boundaries of the country, and also a great emphasis is required to put on data localization and digital sovereignty for any country as a progressively connected world. So, with this opening remark, I would like to welcome our eminent guests and speakers. So, we have with us Sri Sanjay Pandita, who is the Regional Sales Director with Brocade. Sanjay drives the business in Northeast India and Bangladesh region. He has 23 plus years of professional experience and has spent majority of his time in the data center storage space. And our keynote speaker, who needs no introduction, and she is one of the very known face in the industry, Dr. Neeta Verma ma'am, who is the Director General, National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics, Information and Technology, Government of India. Now, I'd like to hand over to Sanjay. Sanjay, if you can just start with your small address, and then we can then Neeta ma'am can give her a keynote address to the after your this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Fahim. Welcome, Dr. Neeta Verma. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to seize this moment and show my gratitude to all those who took time from their busy schedule to join us today. We are in the middle of a tragic and devastating COVID-19 pandemic. My heart goes out to all who have suffered, and we hope and pray that all of us will come out of it soon. As they say, the show must go on. So let me start with a brief on Broadcom, our parent company. Broadcom is a US-based designer, developer, manufacturer, and global supplier of wide range of semiconductor and infrastructure software products. Our product offerings serve the data center, networking, software, broadband, wireless, storage, and industrial markets. I represent Brocade, which is one of the 24 divisions within Broadcom. Brocade is a pioneer in fiber channel solutions for performance-hungry markets like federal, aviation, telco, BFSI, pharma, etc. Customers trust us for our unmatched performance and reliability. We have been directly catering to India business since 2005. And over the years, we are pleased that over 90% of BFSI customers, be it a public sector bank or a corporate bank, uses Brocade SAN storage solutions. Similarly, three out of 4 telco customers trust Brocade for its unmatched technology and performance. From mission-critical setups like GSTN, Department of Post, UIDAI, Brocade is preferred as we offer technology which can scale and deliver with minimum disruption. We have customers who have been using our product for over 8 years and never felt a need to even boot it once. Nowadays, we see a new technology being rolled out every 2 to 3 years span. And storage and networking is nothing different. From the last few years, we have seen that we have transitioned from SAS drives to all flash. And now we are seeing a transition to NVMe adoption. The objective of this session is to understand and deliberate how critical it is to choose the right technology for data center. A technology which can deliver performance, but without compromising on security with minimum human intervention. All of us have been hearing the buzzwords like AI, machine learning, automation. But how are these technologies getting incorporated into data center solution is what we will see in today's discussion. As the session progresses, we'll try to make it more exciting and hope you will have enough keynotes to take away. Without any further ado, I consider it a great honor to welcome Dr. Neeta Verma, Director General, National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, for a keynote address. Dr. Neeta Verma, please.
Thank you, Sanjay. Good morning, everybody who's connected online with the system. As Sanjay said, I share the sentiments. We as a country, as a community, as organizations, as families are really going through a very trying and testing times. And I really take this opportunity to appeal to all of you. Please keep yourself as much safe as you can, and as much we can help at this point of time. The best thing which we can do is actually help each other in whichever way we can, and we should continue. I really salute all of them who've been in this moment of crisis, helping each other, and we should continue doing this. And I'm very hopeful and very sure that soon we'll come out of this victorious. Coming to today's talk, digital infrastructure. The launch of Digital India program by Honorable Prime Minister in 2015 has really propelled the growth of digital transformation across government, across industry, as well as across civil society. And another thing which we have witnessed during this time is the revolution of mobile and broadband in our country. I mean, with 700 million plus smartphone users, over 700 million broadband users, and over 1.17 billion phone users, it has really brought the whole digital ecosystem in place, which is really helping government as well as private and as well as the other segments of society deliver services digitally. And this whole digital infrastructure has been leveraged very much during this unprecedented times of COVID. We have done, people were, even children in primary schools were having education using digital technologies. The health, the digital health, teleconsultation, telehealth is being delivered all across the country using these platforms. Our day-to-day necessity, whether it is e-commerce or whether it is transportation or whether it is entertainment, digital devices and digital infrastructure has really become at the core of this. And therefore, I see as we go further, we're going to see more and more digitalization of businesses, activities, services all around. Because we've also witnessed that the people who were not so digitally enabled have really seen disruption into their services, disruption into their business. So a need is felt more and more that we need to digitalize to not only leverage this wave or this community, but also to avoid these kind of disruptions. In government, also, I mean, as you know, under Digital India program, we focused a lot, and lot of services, more and more services are being made digital. Advent of or the availability of Aadhaar-based identity of every individual, whether it is in irrespective of even at the bottom of the pyramid, has really made delivery of these services to citizens far more feasible, which was earlier difficult because easily identify yourself. You could authenticate yourself through an OTP or biometric, and thus delivery of services digitally is becoming feasible. We had demonetization, through which we came with with the wave of digital payments came in country, and we see how much of a digital wallets, UPI, and digital payment we are seeing all around. People even down villages are procuring things digitally, are making payments digitally. And above all this came direct benefit transfer platform of the government, through which almost every scheme of the government where benefit is being transferred to the citizens is transferred directly to their bank accounts using digital platforms, which is called DBT platform. And this is really made even during COVID times when people were, the migrants were struck, even transferring them using their identity through Aadhaar, phone, and then using this DBT platform, it was possible to really almost in a very, very short time transfer these subsidies so that they could take care of their livelihood. This has also so in this, and similarly digital sign and e-sign kind of a thing has helped you signing your documents. So essentially we are moving more towards faceless, cashless, and paperless services, so that the need for citizens to go to the office, the government office, could be completely eliminated. Under these things, and if you must have seen under Digital India program, large number of digital initiatives and large number of government initiatives have been launched on digital platform, be it construction of toilet under Swachh Bharat mission, or housing for all under PM Awas Yojana, or PM Kisan, where subsidy was given to the farmers, or fertilizer distribution, or MG Narega. All of this have digital platforms, which really makes rolling out of these programs and schemes very, very fast, because under these digital you have digital infrastructure like cloud, which is available, and IC has set up its own cloud for government services and for government's use. Using this infrastructure today, if any government department has to launch any program, simply software has to be developed, and on this cloud they can launch quickly. They don't have to size infrastructure, they don't have to procure infrastructure, they don't have to really do all those DPRs and all. So they only focus on their job, and with the help of NIC we've been able to launch through these programs very, very quickly, sometimes in 3 weeks time or 4 weeks time, which earlier used to take over a year. And more to that, even the scaling of these infrastructure as the demand increases is also becoming faster. And down this cloud, what you have is essentially a data centers. Data centers are places where you house this large amount of compute capacity, large amount of storage capacity, high-speed networks, and over which you build this virtualization or layer of cloud, which essentially gives you a very high order of convenience and efficiency to use. So this compute and storage at one place is something which really makes or powers all these infrastructure or all these digital delivery of services, whether it is in government, whether it is in private. And as an IC also, we have around 5 national data centers and large number of state level data centers, and over 10,000 plus government applications, websites, portals are being powered through these data centers, which are spread across these places, and each one of them is a huge powerhouse of compute, storage, as well as network and all other devices. So essentially, data centers are becoming at the core of all this digital transformation. And not only in government, we are seeing, I mean, if we see in our personal lives, we are seeing large amount of services are being offered to us digitally. If you just think, I'm sure each one of us at least interact with 5 to 7 mobile apps every day. These mobile apps, what are they? When we're interacting with them, on the back they are interacting with cloud, and the cloud is into one of these data centers. And we have, and in the last 5 years or so, we have seen a lot of growth of data centers in our country, and lot of announcements have also been done even by the private sector. And I hope, and I'm sure in the coming days to come, we'll have more of these data centers which will have all this infrastructure. And with this data protection bill, where we really concerned, because what is happening with these new applications, a large amount of personal data of citizens or sensitive data of citizens is also being stored into these through these mobile apps and services into data centers. Therefore, looking into the privacy, protecting the privacy of individuals or keeping this information secure, it is very important that we follow different guidelines and compliances defined from time to time as far as securing this data is concerned. With lot of digitalization in health, you will see even lot of health records coming on online under by National Health Authority. And therefore the data protection bill, which is in parliament and should be approved, should be really clear from the parliament soon. And once that is there, there's a lot of guidance under which that how should one should handle citizens data, and what kind of protection or what kind of compliance has to be really adhered when you are capturing this data. There is a whole mechanism of consent into it, that if you are capturing a data, you need to take consent from citizens and also inform them if at all you intend to share this data with anyone. So all those things have to be very, very explicit. So lot of focus is there in this data protection bill on technology as well as on consent based framework. Data protection bill also really proposes a whole lot of data localization, so that the citizens, that the data of the citizens of India should be within India. And therefore, as I foresee, the demand for more and more data centers in India are going to come. In fact, as you know, most of the global cloud service provider companies have also opened up their nodes into India, so that they could also, so that people could use even those services from the data from their nodes, which is hosted in different cities of India. So all that is happening. There's a lot of economic activity around it. There is a lot of technical activity happening around this. A whole lot of things are being discussed around encryption and all those things. So data centers, and I feel once we, since we have an advantage, demographic advantage of having skilled IT professionals, and if we could reskill them a bit towards this cloud services, towards this data center, because data centers, you know, are 24/7, 365 services. Even this COVID time, when we declare work from home, that amount of our workforce who has to run these data centers, some of them have to be still on site to make sure, because once people work remotely, whole of government work remotely, these data centers become at the core. Their availability, their reliability becomes fundamental to the whole digital functioning that way. And so while we need a whole lot of mechanisms of DR, BCP, but we'll also need a whole lot of skilled personnel into it. And there I feel a lot of upskilling or reskilling of the engineers we have. With this, we can not only cater to the digital transformation or digital activity of our country across all sectors. I think we could also become a hub to provide these data center and cloud services to citizens, to countries outside India. We could become a global hub as we have been into IT services and all. This could be another instance. And as Sanjay was saying, even for these new emerging technologies, we have also open center of excellence in data analytics, AI, blockchain. As you know, AI, blockchain, all of this, even data analytics, need a whole much higher order of compute infrastructure, much higher order of storage infrastructure, and and with this cloud availability of this at a low cost is really making these technologies reality, and we have been able to apply into the services. I mean, whether it is text analytics, whether it is image analytics, or whether it is machine learning, deep learning, or even the simple chatbots, which all of you've been seeing. So, and all of this really need a very robust infrastructure at the bottom. Um, what I would really like to say is that the people who are designing services should design their services and today it is possible to have these services which are not only faceless, cashless, paperless, which are far more intelligent, which are proactive, which is very, very intuitive. And there are cloud service providers, data center providers who will make sure that there is an underlying infrastructure which is equally robust and resilient to make these services, to make citizens avail these services in a pleasant manner. Thank you very much for having me here. I really enjoyed talking to you. And I once again request all of you to please take care of yourself, keep safe, and take care of all your family and friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neeta Verma. We are a step towards what your thought process is. The technology that we have rolled out this year in the storage space, on a storage and network space, we call it a self-healing, self-optimizing SAN. That is, it learns itself. That wherein there is a very minimum human intervention to manage those setups. Thank you very much for the time. It was pleasure having you today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sanjay sir.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.